distance. Well, I guess things are just up to us now. Yeah. So, his gaze wandered off, as if one of your parents might simply appear if he kept checking, and you can tell he was still processing the situation. He scratched the back of his head, looking sheepish. Do you want to forget about whatever's happening and go shopping together? Damn straight. There was a little care in your mind for what your mom had planned. You were ecstatic at the thought of spending the rest of the trip with him. Cove's grin twisted into a conspiratorial one. You both knew that you were going against whatever had really been planned for this outing, but luckily, neither of you cared one bit at this point. So, where to first? I don't mind going back the way I came if that's new to you. It's not hard to miss stuff even if I've gone past it. Well, what you got? Cove shuffled his bags around and started pulling them open so you can peek inside each one. You recognized the array of things he picked up around the market. I mostly got typical things I could use pretty easily so far. Nothing super exciting. There were a few onions, some lemons, some sweet potatoes, among other things that were wrapped up so you couldn't discern what they were. What Cove brought made sense, but it was far from a complete selection. You glanced around at the nearby stalls. Wanna start over there? Cove followed your eyes as you pointed to one of the larger stalls. It was filled with several kinds of staple fruits and vegetables. Yeah, let's go. Once a few people finished paying and moved, you and Cove got yourselves directly in front of the shop. There were so many things to pick from. Onions. Carrots. Potatoes. I like spinach. I like peppers. I like peaches. If I'm getting peaches, I don't need apples. Doesn't he like lime? Just in case, I'll get him a lime. And I think he likes... Either he liked cucumbers or he hated cucumbers. But I remember us talking about cucumbers at some point. Yeah, he likes limes, right? Yeah, that's what I figured. You know what? Let's just get the lot. Get some tomatoes. I think that's everything. The shop owner put your selection together and handed to you in a couple bags. Happily, you paid and waited for Cove to make his purchase. Ready to go? Cove grinned, satisfied with his new choices. He had added another bag to his small but growing collection. You nodded.
All right.
Okay, now let's go. Together, you and Cove wandered the market, on the lookout for any stalls that caught your attention. Cove was walking around with a spring in his step, talking about the various meal ideas he had in his head. After a while, you had to go to greater distances to find something of interest. Several of the stalls you were selling the same goods. It was only a matter now of which you wanted to buy from. You continued ambling down the path until Cove disappeared suddenly from your peripheral vision, pulling you away from your thoughts. Cove? You spun around, spotting him some steps back. He was standing still. You followed his eye line past the crowds. Immediately, you knew what grabbed him. Homemade jams and local honey. Oh! Jams and honey! I am a big fan of both of those. That stall was glittering with quaint glass jars stacked high, each encasing gels of varying colors. Cove's eyes were practically sparkling at the sight. His feet had automatically begun to take him there, likely without being fully aware he had made an unexplained detour. When you got closer, you're surprised that there were even more varieties than you thought. There were even different honeys based upon what type of pollen the bees used. Cove's focus seemed torn between a bottle of blackberry jam and one of clover honey. Do you want some honey? Honey? You said just to tease him. I wonder what on earth you could possibly want this job. Everything looks so good. Shook your head disapprovingly. Who's that? Who's the asshole? Who did this? Who did this? You quietly left him to his dilemma. Okay. You know what? Let's be aggro. Let's top. Did you want some honey, honey? Dumbfounded, Cove nodded in response. His face was burning red. You grinned, way too pleased with your own joke. You thought things over for yourself, too. Oh. Okay. So he wanted blackberry jam, clover honey. We can get some wildflower, honey butter, plum jam. Oh, blueberry jam? How do I feel about that? Strawberry jam. Okay, that's everything. Cool. You pay. Man, we're dropping big money here. You paid, and the shop owner started putting together your order. They've carefully packed it in a couple bags with paper. Thank you very much! Amused, you watch Cove give in and just buy the clover, honey, and blackberry jam. I literally bought those for you, bro. I literally bought those for you. You didn't need to buy those. He also went all in getting this spring wildflower honey and plum jam. You son! That's my order! You bought my order! Man has good taste, though. The shop owners thoughtfully wrapped each of in brown paper to protect them before putting them away in a bag. This is how I knew I was a glutton. I picked everything. Honestly, I would too, but I don't know how much hypothetical magic money I have. He handed the purchase to Cove. Thank you. You both stepped away from the stall. Cove didn't fail to notice the look you've been giving him since he antagonized over his toast toppers. Hey, this doesn't go bad for a long time, so why not stock up? I could have chosen one if I wanted to. You chosen 4. What are you talking about? Sure, and I get it. Why do you think I got so many too? Good then. As you began to stroll, Cove looked into the sky. He smiled. It was sort of unexpected, considering all this was technically an errand, and unexpected changes often upset him. But he was happy, and Cove liked doing this kind of normal thing. And you could tell that Cove especially enjoyed doing these kind of things with you. Man, this game, you could just be cruel to Cove in this game. Holy crap. You were feeling the same as him. You weren't going to let what happened, but a damper on this outing. We're so domestic. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. If you click this, you have cemented your position as bottom. You have cemented it. There is no escape. It's just over. It's over. Hell yeah. Ugh. If you ever say this to somebody, you're just like, okay, you know what? The crowd has spoken. We're so domestic. Cove took a sharp intake of air and started coughing for a moment. Afterwards, he refused to look at you. Hell yeah, Omega 4 is back. I hate you, Crystal. Are we? I guess we are. Later, when you spotted a less crowded area, you took a break from browsing. Hey, wait 1 second real quick. Only be a second. There you go. I had to open a window. It's getting really hot in here. This computer starts blazing after a while. Cove started rummaging through one of his bags just to check on how his goods were doing. A smile grew on his face as he went on to the next. You chuckled, knowing that Cove couldn't let anything go to waste. There wasn't a single doubt. He was going to eat it all. You held a hand in front of your face as you squinted upwards. The sun had moved quite a bit, and you've been at the market for a good while now. Neither your feet nor your arms were sore right now, and Cove looked to be doing fine too, but there was something that could be coming. There was a price to pay for this much shopping, and it was, oh my goodness, and it wasn't always just in money. Oh no, this is cruel. We have bought so many goods right now, that would be messed up to choose. Like, if I were to do that, I'd feel bad. Because he's already has, like, multiple bags of goods. And I have multiple bags of goods. Oh. Okay. Could you carry my things? Alright, that's Omega mode. You're going Omega mode right there. You're playing bottom roll. Want me to carry your bag? You know what? I could top it. I could top it. You know what? This is the first time. No, this is the second time. Because I remember us giving him a piggyback ride down the stairs, and I complained about it. Want me to carry your bags? Cove stared at you, unsure, but just held a hand out expectantly. What? You don't have to do that. I bought it, and besides, you're already carrying stuff. Piggyback, give him. Ah, man, I was too late. That's not gonna change anything. I want to do it for you. Okay, you win. Or it's actually kind of a loss you're willing to take. No, it's a win. Thanks for. Cove bundled. No, I had to reassert my top. I had to reassert my top position, okay? Back buttons exist though. JK. Can you do that? Can you actually go back? You can. Again, this is a terrible decision. Cove gave you an odd look until he realized that you were completely serious. He burst into laughter. Come on! His chuckling died down, and you could tell that Cove was somewhat considering your offer, but he shook his head. No, I mean, I've got all these bags, and I don't really do piggyback rides. Liar, you did it once before. My dad was the only one I ever got them from. Liar, I pulled you down the stairs once. I can do it, Cove. And I want to. Give it a try. Well, good to know that his memory's not perfect. He twisted around in place uncomfortably while he continued to stand firm. And then he relented. All right, we can try. A grin broke out in your face. Somehow, he meant to be a favor for him ended up like he was going to be the trouble for you. But you still had run this round. Okay, up you go. You crouched down low for Cove to get on. Let's go, rip our legs and back. Cautiously, he draped himself against your back and wrapped his arms around your neck. He tried tucking his long legs in as you slowly stood up a bit, while you worked on getting your hands around him to help hold, but it was awkward with all the bags. Still, you continue on. Oh my god! His voice came out in a disbelieving squeak. Cove was still on while we were standing upright. Yeah, the alpha move. We're strong. We are strong here, boys. You did it. His grip was so tight that it was slightly uncomfortable, but there was no stopping the grin growing on your face. You knew he was going to have a fun time. And with that, you and Cove continued your trip through the market together. Ma and Mom both texted you during the trip, though only to say that they'd hoped you found some good stuff and that they'd see you later. There were no answers on where they went or why shrunk for. You and Cove continued to wind down your way through the bustling market, the list of outstanding items steadily shrinking while bags grew heavier. Cove must have had a fantastic view of the market from your back. You might have thought it would have helped to find the produce he needed. They definitely left us alone, Cove. Yeah, this is 100% baited. But you would have been wrong. Putting Cove closer to the sky made it easier for him to lose his head in the clouds. You heard as much about cool birds and people's stylish hair as you did about where you might find the next thing to pick up. He was just reveling in the new experience, and that was okay. Eventually, he realized that he'd not checked his phone in a while. He couldn't reach it from his current position, so you came to a stop out of the flow of on-foot traffic and helped him hop down. Cove rearranged all the bags he was carrying, freeing his hand so that he could pull out his phone. You watched his eyes dart over the screen as he read over the waiting messages. Not important. I can reply to that later. It's his mom. He mumbled his verdict under his breath. Then, Cove's face scrunched up with confusion. Huh? Wait, I got a message from my dad. Listen to this. Cove wasn't a part of the plan. Cove,